one of the questions that I had was, do you have like I heard you talking about your Apple Watch, but let's set the Apple Watch aside because not everybody has Apple products. What would be the three top, I would say, technology things that help you with, we'll just call it generally biohacking. And then secondarily, I guess, is there outside of the meditation, obviously there's a huge, in Shane's parlance, right? He's equalized coaching, the spiritual, the physical, the mental, or, however you want to put it. Obviously those things are connected. So outside, in addition to the top three technology hacks, are there three things that help you either, Shane would call it balanced, I would probably call it more alignment, right? Like how to be more, or maybe, some people would probably say, man, that person's really together versus that person's really scatterbrained. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think, and I'm just sending this right now. So Donna Eden, Energy Medicine, is a book. Donna Eden is a practitioner. I would say it's not technology, but it's a practice. And there are different practices that are helpful. So in that person really has it together. It's that alignment, right? Between the mental, the spiritual, the physical, and your energetic bodies. I maybe take it a step further than Shane into that kind of wooey chakra, very, quantum physics realm a lot of times. So I actually have a tool that allows me to look at somebody's energetic field around their body and identify what's going on from a meridian and a chakra perspective and an energetic perspective, just based on the electromagnetic field. It's called a BioWell machine. Joe Dispenza talks a lot about it. HeartMath uses it a lot. All it does is it confirms what we know, right? It's an awesome tool, but a lot of times it's just confirmation. Having that alignment is a matter of building routine and practice. And I've found energy medicine practices to be huge, whether that's EFT tapping. So things like going through tapping exercises that are going to help you through those stressful times and start to reprogram the body. Some of Donna Eden stuff, like tapping your K27 points or tapping your spleen neurolymphatic points to start to get your body back in. Things like backwards tracing meridians for flushing them out. So if your body's been on high alert for a long time and you've been in fight or flight, or you're fighting sickness or something's going on, and doing a back flush of your triple warmer meridian, so it starts to flush out, calm down, bring your energetic field back into alignment, is kind of that additional body, mind, spirit, energy step. So it's not a technology, but it's definitely a tool. I think having a technology that works for you, whether it's an Oura Ring, whether it's an Apple Watch. I'm a Garmin person, so I've got the Garmin watch and the Garmin stuff, but have something that works for you. As simple as the sleep cycle pillow or next to your pillow, and it tracks movement. Have something that helps you quantify what's going on. For me, I look at a lot of different data points. So, and Shane and I have talked about this at length. I measure inflammation in my body largely by weight because it's so drastic with me. If I get into something that I really shouldn't be eating, I will quite literally put on 5 pounds overnight and be just puffy, like cankles and hobbit feet and everything else. So having something to track that data point has some really important. And just being aware, it really goes back to, what do you want to measure? Are you looking to measure sleep? Are you looking to measure overall, your overall situation, whether that's HRV, the heart rate variance, plus sleep, plus activity? The reason I use Garmin is because it has GPS on it. I'm a runner. So that's my everything in one, right? it tracks my workouts, it tracks my sleep, it tracks my meditation for me, it tracks all of it. So anything that keeps you accountable, I think, is a good tool.
Yeah, I guess I haven't really thought about that. I mean, if I was going to talk about the things that are, important to me because of what I do, I need to manage my focus. I got to manage my energy, meaning am I up or down, and manage my awareness, my ability to make sure that I'm properly connecting with people around me and I'm processing what I need to process from either a relational standpoint or, even a work standpoint, right?
Yeah.
When I'm focused on what's going on around me, I'm pretty good. But when I get sunk into something, awareness fades, and, even my awareness of my own energy isn't really, like, I'm not really aware of it until the tank is empty. And then I'm like hitting the wall, and it's like, and it's a really fast downhill. I used to be able to just push, and I can't do that anymore. I used to be able to push till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning if I had to, and now it's like I get to about midnight, 1 o'clock, and then all of a sudden it's like, it's like I feel like R2D2 shutting down. Let me plug in.
So it's interesting you said awareness. So I used to have one of these Spire Health devices, and it looks at breathing. So for guys, a lot of times they wear it on a belt clip. For me, I would wear it like on the inside of my bra. And what it does is it tracks your breathing and your heart rate. And I'm sure they've made it better since I had one, but it was really interesting for me going into sales meetings. And what it would do is it would give me an alarm on my phone, which a lot of times was tucked in my suit pocket or my back pocket or whatnot. The device would also vibrate. So if I held my breath for X amount of seconds, it would vibrate, and it would give me the hey, breathe, right? Like, you've been holding your breath for 37 seconds. Breathe, right?
Oh, wow.
And it was so amazing to me to see that come, I was like, holy cow, right? I didn't even realize I was tense and holding my breath, and that my breathing had changed patterns so drastically over the course of this meeting, because that was just how I was feeling in every meeting at that point, right?
Wow.
And now I think because I work from home, I probably tilt into the other end of the spectrum. I'm probably a little too on the chill end of the meter. Maybe a little stress is a good thing, but being able to see that it's sobering when you look at oh wow, I didn't realize I was breathing super fast and then holding my breath, and then breathing super fast and then holding my breath. No wonder I felt like crap coming out of that meeting. Or no wonder the energy in the room changed, because they were perceiving that energy from me, right? People know we're like fine-tuned antennas. They could absolutely sense those times when I'm way more calm and just giving my pitch and here's what we do, and this is what you need, and this is why you need it. This is how much it's going to cost. Give me your money, sign on this dot, we're good. Those meetings were just flow, right? And I could tell you based on that device coming out of those meetings, which ones were going to go well versus which ones weren't. And it was almost 100% of the time.
Really?
Yeah. It's the ones that got tense and I was keyed up and I was nervous. They could feel that.
Yeah. I talk with guys that I train. I talk about the intangibles that translate, that we don't think are translating, but people pick up on it, because even if people they may not be able to articulate what they're hearing, but your nonverbals absolutely, your subtext, your context is definitely going to communicate whether you want it to or not.
Yeah.
So
nonverbals matter.
Yeah, it's super important to be as chill as possible in a setting like that, because you don't want your either energy or lack of energy. You don't want your focus or lack of focus to have a negative impact on somebody else being able to make the decision they need to make. And obviously you can't control how other people are perceiving you, and what their energy issues are. But I think a lot of times, as long as you're focused and present in the now, you've got a better opportunity to at least adjust your communication to meet them where they're at, so you can kind of bring them along.
Absolutely. And again, energy medicine was huge in that for me. I know before I'm going into a big meeting, obviously I do this in my hotel room because you look like a maniac if you're just doing it in the lobby. So Donna Eden, you can find this on YouTube, has a tool called the Celtic Weave. And it's essentially clearing your energetic aura of like anything that's going on in there and just kind of sweeping that junk that's gumming up your immediate space out. And it looks really wooey, but man, does it make a difference. Even something like, sitting in the car and just tapping neural lymphatic points ahead of time can bring that energy down just enough to kind of even you out so that you're not, throwing off those intangible panic symptoms that people don't necessarily perceive them as they're just nervous because they perceive it as, I can't trust this person, right? Something's off about this person.
Sure. And most people wouldn't choose to articulate it that way, but so you just say it differently, but you just don't want to put somebody off because you're off. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like that.
Shane, thank you for that link. That's exactly the video I was looking for. It's super wooey. Dude, like I love her, but it's the first time I saw it, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Shane and I have talked about this a good amount. I mean, as a female, aside from the short hair, right, I tend to play more in the masculine yang realm. So the very like soft, wooey, feminine nature of some of this stuff, I'm like, are you kidding me?
You're like, is this for real?
You want me to what? Okay, I'll do that with the blinds closed, and I won't tell anybody about it. Right.
Yeah, if it works, maybe. Right.
Right, and it's funny because it works. I'm big on not expending energy that I don't have to expend. Life is too short and too long, and I always joke that the best salespeople are lazy. If I can do minimum effort, maximum results, I'm going to do it every single time. Because life is too short and I can't handle being tired. I know Shane kind of alluded to this, and I've talked a little bit about the inflammation side, but managing chronic health stuff, it's exhausting. I have a limited amount of energy in any given day. So the things that I'm doing that are going to impact have to have a big enough impact to balance out the amount of effort that I have to put into it.
Well, that's interesting because that reminds me of hearing stuff like decisions that like Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg make. Like they wear the same stuff all the time because they don't want to waste energy making a decision. Because decisions take energy, even if it's simple. What am I going to eat today? What am I going to wear today? Right. Well, if you ascribe to the fact that you've only got so many good decisions in you per day, which I don't, but let's just say that some people have better mental acuity than others, and after a while they do start to wear down. Why use up some of that mental, emotional, physical energy deciding stuff that's literally just not that important? I mean, I guess if you're getting ready to go out on a date and you're going to meet somebody for the first time, stressing out over what you're going to wear, that kind of makes sense. But if you're going to work and it's like the same place, I mean, who cares if you have a Men in Black, outfit for the same, like if you're going to wear the same thin tie and jacket, whatever, 5 days a week, who cares, right? As long as you're professional and clean, it really shouldn't matter.
Yeah, decision fatigue is a real thing, and everybody's number is different, but it's been scientifically proven. There's a book called, I think it's in Which, How to Change When Change is Hard. I believe that's the book. But he talks about this study that was done with judges where the parole board actually granted parolees a lot more leniency first thing in the morning.
Really?
Statistically speaking, if you are going in for a parole hearing, you want to be the first person in the door, because by the end of the day, they were pretty much done making decisions.
They're like, I don't care. No. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. You know, especially in a decision like that where, you know, there's some big implications on the line, right? If I let the wrong person out of jail,
Sure.
that's a big mark on me, right? Then yeah, like I'm just going to go to no.
Yeah, your default is no if you're too tired to sort through the information and the data. I guess that would also
Yeah.
be a good reason as to why you should take care of your biggest, thorniest problems first in the morning, because you don't want to be dealing with that thorny stuff at the end of the day, because you're not up then. And I don't mean like literally up as an awake. I mean up in terms of energy and focus.